Hello, thank you for joining us today. My name is Pat Cameron. I'm the Associate Director of Admissions here at MCPHS, our Worcester campus. And we're talking a little bit today about life here in the city of Worcester. But before we dive into all of the exciting things that this incredible city has to offer, we'll do some introductions. So I will first and foremost pass it off to my colleague, Jessica, and I'll let Jessica introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jessica. I also work in the admissions office here at MCPHS Worcester. And with us today are joining us with two of our phenomenal students. So first, Samir, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, my name is Samir. I'm a second year optometry student at MCPHS and I'm from Canada, so it could show you how many people can come to MCPHS from around the world.
Awesome. And Rachna?
Hi everyone, my name is Rachna and I'm a third year pharmacy student. So I'm in my final year and graduation is about 2 weeks away. So I'm very excited for that. I'm also originally from Canada as well.
Excellent. Thank you both. Yes, we have truly two transplants today. So you will get a real insight into everything here in the city of Worcester. But on the complete end of the other end of the spectrum, I am a Worcester native, and I will say I am a little biased towards the city, being born and raised. And again, I do think it's an incredible place to live, learn, and to start your future here. And the city of Worcester, which I know does look, the spelling of the city does look a little funny. You might look at the spelling of the city and say, oh, that's Worcester or Worcestershire or some other iteration. But when you get here, you might want to brush up on all of your Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, and try to channel your inner Mark Wahlberg when you get here to really make sure you're getting the enunciation of the city and some of the surrounding towns as well. The city is known as the heart of the Commonwealth because it is the geographical center of Massachusetts. Worcester is the second largest city in New England, Boston being the biggest, and it is very much a college town. We're home to one of 11 schools here in the city, most notably ourselves, the College of the Holy Cross, Worcester Polytechnical Institute, Tufts University's Veterinary School, and the University of Massachusetts Medical School, just to name a few. This city has always been a city of firsts, as I like to call it. As a baseball fan, it's really exciting to say it is home of the first perfect game here in the city, as well as the first Valentine's Day card. The first modern rocket was fired off here in the city, and something as wonderful as the smiley face was also created here in the city of Worcester. Uh, for MCPHS, in regards to our location within the city, we're right in downtown Worcester, so we're right in the heart of it. And it boasts not only a very, very walkable aspect of where we are in the city, but it's also an extremely car-friendly city. And Jessica is going to pull up the map so we can talk a little bit about some of the really exciting things of where we are in downtown Worcester. A lot of my interests revolve around food. Food is excellent. I eat it at least 3 times a day, if not more. And there's a ton of great restaurants all throughout the city of Worcester, all really within very close walking distance. We have right here, if you actually see that blue little dot, that is where our admissions office is, 25 Foster Street. And we have locations not only there, but a little bit up further north of the map where the cursor is. And all around the area, we have a ton of great restaurants. There's Armsby Abbey, which is super close to campus. Spoodles, which is one of my favorite restaurant spots, especially if we're talking about a lunch break or anything like that. But also a little bit down the road, Shrewsbury Street has a ton of great options in regards to food, shopping, a nice little park that you're able to take advantage of, and as well as some beer gardens if you're, of course, of age to take advantage of, some of those options right there. And at which point, Jessica, also being somewhat new to the city, I'm going to pass it off to you to talk a little bit more about everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Pat. So I'm originally not from Massachusetts, surprisingly. I'm from New Jersey, so I was once new to the area as well, and have found it such a welcoming environment to start my professional career. So I'm excited for you now that you're also choosing to do the same. So as Pat mentioned, we are right here, right next to the DCU Center, which is almost a convention center where a lot of concerts can take place. Our commencement ceremony is going to take place here in a few short weeks, which is very exciting. But more importantly and more pertinent to you is the location to two of the local hospitals, which you may have clinical rotations with. So St. Vincent's Hospital, as you can see from our Foster Street location over here, is maybe a half a block away. So you can see it right from the admissions office. If you live on campus, you can maybe see it from your residential hall window. It is right here. And then another hospital in the area is over here, UMass Memorial Medical Center. So Pat mentioned that the UMass Med School is here as well. This is another conglomerate hospital, a very, very highly ranked hospital in the area that you can also possibly do clinical rotations with. So very exciting that these two very well-ranked medical centers are near our campus and available for you to partake in clinical rotations. But speaking about more fun things, we are a foodie city. Like Pat said, it's very exciting. A lot of our students do partake in services such as DoorDash or Grubhub. Maybe if you'd like to meal prep, a lot of our students love HelloFresh, especially for, I know Samir has mentioned it a bunch of times that he misses home cooking. He wish he can, go back home and see his mom so he can give him stuff. But, we do have the ability for wonderful restaurants on campus, around campus, and some local delivery services as well that are right at the touch of your fingertips.
Excellent. Thank you, Jessica. And, because you don't want to hear from us as we're the professional staff here, you want to hear from a couple of our students. So, Samir, Rachna, what are some of your favorite places to either grab a bite, hang out close to campus? Besides, of course, being on campus because you want to spend all your time within our facilities.
So my friends and I, we like going to the Garden Fresh Courthouse. I think that's the full name. It's like 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes from like the main campus at Lincoln. They have a bunch of burgers, fries, shakes, even like snacks here and there. And regardless, I think more like a lunch type of style. But if you want like a snack or like maybe like a cookie, muffin, or stuff like that, there's Cross Bake Shop, which is like even closer. It's probably like 2 minute walk. It's like we're literally across the street. But those two places are like the big places that my friends and I will usually go out and eat.
My friends and I, we actually go to Spoodles a lot. Their sandwiches are great. It's not even a 1 minute or 2 minute walk from campus here. We also have explored bubble tea spots in the area. There's two really good bubble tea spots in the area. A new one just opened up, and bubble tea is my favorite. So, yes.
You mentioned crust, and I've had their breakfast sandwiches a bunch, and that's so good. Again, we could talk for a very long time about food. We won't, because we want to make sure that we're touching upon everything and all the various things that folks are able to do in the city. So, Jessica, I think you're going to talk about some other activities within the city of Worcester that you're able to do.
Yes, absolutely. So, like I said, I was new to the city as well. So, I really wanted to take advantage of a lot of the things that were going on in Massachusetts and specifically in the Worcester area and the surrounding counties as well. So, Worcester is truly a beautiful, beautiful city. There's a variety of parks and lakes, and especially if you're not used to a winter, let's say a winter season, it's such a special opportunity that students can visit the outdoor ice skating rink at the Worcester Common Oval behind City Hall, which is literally right next door to our Foster campus, or head up about 30 minutes to Wachusett Mountain, which is the local ski resort. So if you're an extreme sportist, which for me, skiing is an extreme sport, you can absolutely go there and enjoy some winter activities. In the summer, my favorite season, there are outdoor concerts in the cities, farmers markets, variety of food truck festivals, so many things that come to the city. Worcester has also a variety of museums, including the Worcester Art Museum, which is right across the street from some of our residence life housing. The Worcester Center for Crafts and the Ecotarium, a museum that celebrates science and nature, which is very nice. And my favorite parts, I'm a lover of the performing arts. So the Hanover Theater and Conservatory for the Performing Arts, Mechanics Hall, and the DCU Center, like I mentioned before, hosts musicals, concerts, comedians, other performances. They've gotten huge names around here that I've seen, like John Mulaney, Sebastian Maniscalco. So tons of really great entertainers come to the city of Worcester. And also, if you're more into classical performance, Worcester also boasts its own opera company, the Great Worcester Opera, which is really, really beautiful. Now
Yes.
I will kick it over to Pat to talk about some of the natural beauties around Worcester.
Yes, absolutely. And I will say, having grown up, I've been to, just mentioned the Palladium many times. And I'm really excited this summer, which maybe Samir, Rachna, you guys are able to take advantage of. Being a 90s kid myself, they have a couple of bands, Yellow Card and Weezer, are coming into the city, which, the 16-year-old Pat is really excited for that. But around the city, just mentioned Wachusett Mountain. Um, it is about 20, 30 minutes away. Incredible mountain for skiing, snowboarding in the winter, hiking in the summer. But Worcester is also centrally located to whether it be cities, mountains, the coast, really any of the other New England states are within an hour's drive. To provide a geographical perspective of the city of Worcester is about 45, 50 minutes east, or rather west of the city of Boston, about an hour north of Providence, Rhode Island, and about, I would say, a little over an hour from Hartford, Connecticut. So really you're able to touch and go into Vermont, New Hampshire, Southern Maine, Rhode Island, Connecticut. If you wanted to make a day trip and truly go to any of those other states, you're able to in a really short drive. Also located really close to campus is Union Station. It's probably about a half-mile away from our 10 Lincoln Square facility, and students are able to take the commuter rail into Boston in about an hour for somewhere around $5 or $10, especially over the weekends. Students from there can take the Amtrak to various other destinations across New England or down into the mid-Atlantic. Worcester also has a small regional airport which can fly you to various destinations like Fort Lauderdale, both airports in New York City being JFK and LaGuardia, the city of Philadelphia, and several other destinations. Worcester is also surrounded by very suburban and rural towns, which is truly the best of both worlds, where you're able to take advantage of city life here in Worcester. But then, if you're looking to get out of the city, go into a very residential or rural environment, you have access to all of that. And whether it's hitting up some of the local rail trails, some of the ponds for canoeing, kayaking, swimming, anything like that. You're really able to take advantage of so many different things, which is so exciting. In addition to that, again, I mentioned I love sports. I love baseball. One of the really exciting things that happened a couple of years ago was the AAA affiliate, the Boston Red Sox, building a new stadium and coming here to the city of Worcester. The Woo Sox, as we call for short, the Worcester Red Sox, are here. Really about, I'd say, what do you say, guys? Maybe like a 5-minute drive away from campus, right in Kelly Square, next to the Worcester Public Market, which is a really fun time if you're looking for, to get away from your coursework for a night or anything like that. But again, Samir, Rachna, what are some of the things that you guys like to do here in the surrounding area? Besides, all the food activities that we discussed, that, really makes your time here in the city of Worcester special.
So I know, maybe it wasn't mentioned, but across from 10 Lincoln, there's the arcade bar kind of thing. I think over like at the beginning of every year in September, I think the student affairs has some events or something there. So over time, like we used to go there. It's honestly like it's not as expensive as like you would expect it to be. And it's like not even like across the school campus. So if you want to hang out with your friends, play some games, eat some pizza, I guess, and have a great time, that's like a good option that we usually do go to.
I really like the Worcester Public Market. I think that there's so many stalls and you get to try foods from all over the world. We've also recently gone bowling. For bowling, there's places such as Apex and Bolero, so there's a lot to do in the city.
Absolutely. So now that you're excited to do some things in the city, well, what's going on around here? Who's gonna be crossing the halls with you? So I'm sure that you've seen that MCPHS has 3 different campuses. So we have our campus in Boston, our campus in Manchester, and our beautiful campus in Worcester. So on our Worcester campus, we are home to a plethora of different programs. So our acupuncture program, our dental hygiene program, our diagnostic medical sonography, nursing, pharmacy, optometry, physician's assistant studies, physical therapy, and occupational therapy as well. So now that you know the different types of programs that are here, Pat's going to talk about where you can live in Worcester.
So and we do offer on-campus housing. Something that's pretty unique to not only graduate studies, but really any of the programs that we offer. And we offer a number of different housing options. And I know when folks hear the words on-campus housing, oftentimes students get this shiver down their spine because they start to get this imagery in their head of white painted cinder block walls with their bed lofted over their desk and bureau. And I can assure you that's not what we're offering. We have everything from studios, 1-bedroom, all the way up to 6-bedroom apartments. Regardless of wherever you're living on campus, you're going to have your own private room, your own private living quarters. You just might have shared kitchen space, common space, and bathroom space with other students as you would any other off-campus apartment. We'll start off with going through some of the options that we have. The first one being 10 Lincoln Square. 10 Lincoln Square is a former hotel that we renovated into not only academic space, clinical space, lecture space, and lab space, but we kept the functionality of the hotel. So you can quite literally live in the same facility as potentially Samir has access to. You can live in the same facility as all of your lecture, labs, and all of that. So if you thrive on waking up 5-10 minutes before class, 10 Lincoln Square might be for you. Otherwise, close to our 10 Lincoln Square facility is not only our Lancaster Street apartments, but our Salisbury Street apartments as well. Those 2 apartments are probably about a 5-10 minute walk away from campus. And that is more reminiscent of what is off-campus housing, where we have 1 bedroom, two, all the way up to sometimes 3 or 4 bedroom apartments located in these spaces, as well as a couple of studio apartments as well. In really all of these other apartments, besides 10 Lincoln Square, you have the full amenities in regards to in-unit cooking. For Salisbury Street, you have the in-unit washer and dryer, which is a really big plus for a lot of our students. But really, the benefit for living on campus is having the MCPHS, the institution, at your disposal in regards to any work orders or anything that you might need fixed or anything like that. In addition to that, these are also very cost-effective options. Oftentimes, rent for these spaces costs somewhere around, if you're living in a 6-person suite, which again, you'd have your own private room, you're spending somewhere potentially around $900 a month. And if you say have a 1 bedroom apartment in our Salisbury Street apartments, you're probably looking at somewhere around $1,400 or $1,500 a month, which really, if you look at some of the other prices in some of the other major cities, is an absolute steal, because you're looking at in-unit, again, offshooting master bath, in-unit washer dryer, kitchen, living room, dining room, den. You have the whole shebang in a lot of these apartments. And for all of these prices, it's not only rent, but it's utilities included. So these are very cost-effective apartments. Whether you're, and for Rachna, a little bit closer to a lot of her facilities, we're looking at Main Street, the Main Street lofts, or at the Thomas Henry Borzek Living and Learning Center, which is often called to us here on campus 25 Foster Street. Now, for you guys, I know you guys live on campus, so talk about some of your experiences living on campus, some of the different housing options you've had during your time here.
So I live at 10 Lincoln Square, as Pat did mention earlier. So I'm in the optometry program as well. So all of my classes are in that building. So it's convenient for me because as an optometry student, we have so much equipment to bring. I literally could just go back to my room, bring everything downstairs without, I guess, having to bring them all out and walk in the rain, cold, snow, or whatever. To be honest, I love living at Lincoln only because it's convenient and everything is there. Of course, as you can see, there's different options available on campus. Some of my friends live at Foster, which is up to 6 roommates. Some of them live at Salisbury, or some of them live at Main Street on the loft apartments. They all look nice to me. However, I feel like the convenience living on campus and avoiding the weather is the best. And of course, some people don't mind walking in the rain, snow, or in the cold, but to be honest, I want to avoid that as much as possible.
For me, I live at 25 Foster Street, and I live in an apartment with 5 others. So we have a 6-bedroom shared apartment, but I love it. I think it's a huge apartment. It's very comfortable. And over these years, my friends my roommates who have started as my roommates have become very good friends of mine. We actually eat dinner together every day. And it was great to have study buddies in your program, and also some students outside of your program where you could keep up with throughout the year that this test is due and this is coming up, and did you register for this? And so it was very helpful for me throughout. And as I mentioned, they became very, very close to me throughout. Something I also love about campus is that we have a gym that's open 24/7. And so it's very convenient to live on campus because I can work out at any hour of the day. Our library is also open 24/7, and so I can study also during exam season 24/7, which is also very important to have a study schedule that's very flexible according to the hours that the library is open. So those are the main highlights that I find. And yes, if you are going to be a pharmacy student, and if you do live in 25 Foster Street, you would just wake up in the morning and you would cross the street, and that's where all the classes would be held.
It's a short commute for sure. And I'll also add that we do guarantee parking for all of our residential and commuter students. Oftentimes, with some of these on-campus apartments, you have on-site parking. So Samir is able to park his car outside in the Lincoln garage, which is just outside of the facility. Which is a big benefit. And on top of that, I'll also add, which is something that's pretty unique and different, especially if you've lived on campus in some undergraduate institutions. Once you're in your room, once you're on campus, that is your space for however long you want it to be, or, of course, until you're done with the program. So Residence Life will check in with students once the end of the entire academic year is coming to an end, and they'll say, okay, are you looking to stay in your room, or are you looking to move to another space on campus? And students will have the option to stay or to move around campus, which is a huge benefit because I remember during my undergraduate experience every single May packing up my entire life, putting in a bunch of tote boxes, bags, and what have you, throwing it in the back of my car and moving back home and living out of boxes for a couple of months until I moved back to campus. Well, that's not the case here. Once you're in your space, it's like an actual apartment where you're here on campus, you're in your space until you choose not to be in that space anymore.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, that was awesome. Now I'm inspired. I need to move to Worcester from where I am because it just sounds like the deal of a lifetime. So now once you're here and going to school and living here, what else can you do? What else is available to you? So I know that Samir mentioned a little bit about our student affairs office. So we also, underneath that umbrella, offer student organizations that I know many, many, many of our students are involved with as well. So I know the main purpose, of course, that you're here is to go to school, to continue your academic career, but also there are things outside of the physical academics that you can do to improve your resume, not only professionally, but also socially as well. If you're looking to grow in more than one avenue, we do offer those experiences for you. So you can find this on our website. You can just go to www.mcphs.edu/student life and look at the Worcester section. You can look at exactly what I'm looking at for you here. Here are just some of the clubs and organizations that we offer on our Worcester campus. There's so many, I can't even fit them into one scroll. So there are professional organizations for you. There are also social organizations. So for example, per program, we have the American College of Clinical Pharmacy for, different organizations. We have the National Student Nurses Association. We have the student chapter of the American Academy of Physician Assistants, and then non-programmatic social clubs such as student government, the sports club, the pizza club, the infamous pizza club that I need to go to a meeting one of these days, where they sit around and eat pizza. I think watch The Bachelor at some point. Sounds like a good time. The dance troupe, which I know is exciting, the Black Student Union, the Asian Student Association. So really important clubs that we're proud to have on this campus, and that you can improve your resume as well, diversify your experiences on top of your academic repertoire with some leadership positions as well. So I know that the two students with us today both are very, very involved on campus, not only with their academics, but with clubs and organizations. So Samir, do you want to tell us what clubs you're in?
Yeah, so as I did say earlier, I am a Canadian student. So when we were first years, I guess a little over a year and a half now, we wanted to foster like a home or like a community for the new incoming optometry students from Canada, which we didn't have. So we decided to reestablish the Canadian Association of Optometry Students, or CHAOS. As a club, like we have like maybe like every semester we have like 2 or 3 events, more like social events, or have like incoming or different guest speakers talking about the industry in Canada. We also have like different like celebrations, like how we had the Canadian Thanksgiving event last in the fall semester. And then at the end of June, we're gonna have our Canada Day celebration. So that's like 2 of the bigger celebrations that we try to include and try to give the same like meaning to the Canadian students at campus as well. Regardless of that, I am the president of the American Association of American Optometric Students Association, AOSA. So that's pretty much the same thing as the Chaos Club, but it's more dealing with the American side. So as optometrists, we want to increase like how much we can give to our patients. So we want to be able to increase our service and impact by like being more involved with the community. So those are 2 main clubs I'm actually part of.
I love that, Samir, that you made your own community within the greater community. That's really special. Rachna?
Yes, so I'm also involved in so many leadership organizations here on campus. I hold executive positions on PLS, which is the Pharmacy Leadership Society, as well as ASHP, ASCP, SPPA, and more. And throughout these executive positions, I've been able to connect the student body with some local organizations in our community and encouraging our students to volunteer with these local organizations. So I've held a lot of volunteer events, volunteer days, clothing drives, as well as food drives. And I also think that these clubs are great because they give students an exposure to different aspects of pharmacy. And so if you have an interest in pediatrics, for example, you could join the SPPA and you could go to their meetings and you could learn more about how to apply to have a residency position, for example, in an area that focuses on that as well.
Awesome. As you can tell, our students are rock stars and they have the ability to really make a difference, not only within our own MCPHS community, but the greater community as a whole. And they do such great work, and we're so proud to hold such, phenomenal students who have such great work through through their organizations and really make a difference in the lives of everybody around them. So you can absolutely do so once you become a student here at MCPHS Worcester. So besides our student organizations, Pat is going to talk about a little bit of other on-campus events that are sponsored by the university.
Absolutely. And through as actually one of the organizations that Jess mentioned, SGA, Student Government, they put on a number of different events like block parties or other cultural celebrations. In addition to that, there's a lot of programmatic celebrations that happen. I know, for example, the optometry program each and every year, they throw on the, get ready for this terrible pun, the eyeball, which is a formal dance that they go off to. And really, it's a celebration towards the end of the spring semester. Other programs have very similar ones. The physical therapy program has the physio ball, which again, terrible puns, but there's a lot of opportunities for students to really have some fun because, of course, yes, you are here, you're getting an education, but everyone here is also human and should have the ability to have a little fun while you're here within the program. And from there, within the city of Worcester, there's a number of different celebrations, whether there's the fireworks display with the 4th of July, our recent St. Patrick's Day parade that happened in March. A lot of other community-based organizations also have a number of different celebrations. Right by me, which I live about a half-mile away from campus. So really, I am in the middle of the MCPHS community here, and right next door is the Greek Orthodox Church that has an incredible festival each and every summer that has a ton of great food options. Again, food. I love food. That members of the community can go check out and really get to celebrate this wonderful city. From there, besides all of those celebrations, we also like to boast that MCPHS is, of course, a huge member of the city of Worcester's community. And that's also who we try to help, who we try to service. We're a community health focused institution, community health focused programs. And especially with everything that Samir and Rachna are doing with our optometry and pharmacy programs. But in addition to that, we offer so many different services here on campus that folks can take advantage of, whether it's our on-campus eye and vision center, our Tenna optical store. Potentially individuals want to maybe get their teeth cleaned at our dental hygiene clinic here on campus, or go in for a treatment, whether it be an acupuncture or herbal consultation within our acupuncture program. And with those students, we really try to service as many different peoples here in the city of Worcester. So it's not only on campus, but it's hosting various health fairs at the Worcester City Hall, where pharmacy, nursing, PA students, a number of other individuals provide blood pressure examinations. They look at blood sugar readings, eye examinations. I know our optometry program goes across the street to one of the local churches and does free eye exams at night for members of the Worcester community in that church. And it's just various ways that our students in our programs are able to not only give back to members of the Worcester community, but gain invaluable experience within their program. So I guess, guys, going off of that, what are some of the really exciting community-based experiences that you've had while here at MCPHS?
So I guess in this past year, so I was finishing my second year, we used to go out in the Worcester community elementary schools. We do vision screenings with them, and then honestly, it's a nice program because you get to see some children who are in kindergarten up until grade 10, I think. And some kids have never seen an eye doctor before, and they're just dealing with whatever vision issue that they've been dealing with. And then once we as students realize that there is a potential vision issue, they're referred back to MCPHS, where I guess we as students can give them the best treatment and then improve their lives. So that is one big thing that I did realize this past year going to school screenings, that we are changing people's lives, regardless if we're not seeing them as an official patient sitting in your exam chair, but you're giving somebody the necessity of their basic life, which is vision. So that is one good thing that I did learn this past year, and giving back to the community as well.
I think we have so many events on campus that keep us going and keep us excited and engaged. To name a few, I remember that we celebrated the Lunar New Year. I know we also had cultural events such as Eid. There was the recent Eid celebration that went on that everyone's invited to, regardless of, whether you practice the religion or not. There was also the Diwali celebration that happened in the fall, which was very exciting. In order to give back to the community, the pharmacy students have hosted vaccine clinics with the help of pharmacies such as Shaw's that has come in, and we were able to immunize and protect our community against COVID-19 when the pandemic was here, and we continue to do that until today.
Awesome. Thank you, you both. Those are truly wonderful experiences that you're able to give back to the Worcester community. And again, being a native, it's something that I'm so excited about and passionate about, because Worcester is truly this incredible melting pot of so many different peoples, cultures, religions, ethnicities that not only make it really exciting to live here, exist here in the city, but also go to school as well, because you get so many invaluable experiences And when our students go out to the various corners of the globe to go practice their various disciplines, they're able to talk about all those incredible experiences that they got here at MCPHS within the city of Worcester. With all that being said, we do want to thank you all for watching and joining us today. It was a pleasure to chat with you all and share with you some of the wonderful things that we have to offer, again, here at MCPHS Worcester. And we hope to see you all on campus very soon. Thank you so much.